Good afternoon everyone. Selamat siang Bapak Ibu semuanya.
Siang, Mbak Lia.
Selamat siang, selamat
Selamat
bergabung.
siang, good afternoon Alia.
Good
Noon
afternoon,
already in
Pak.
Singapore.
Yeah, already noon in Singapore, right?
Afternoon,
Okay. Yeah. So welcome to today's webinar. So we have situational leadership for managing Gen Z, aligning leadership with readiness. Thank you for joining us. Perkenalkan saya Ali Amalia, tentunya akan menjadi host dalam kegiatan hari ini. Today's topic is incredibly relevant, especially in workplace where Gen Z is becoming a growing part of the workplace, right? I bet in your contact center you have mostly Gen Z agent, right? So leading them effectively requires understanding their unique expectations, communication styles, and readiness levels. So we are to have with us Himli Ali, a certified SLII facilitator and leadership coach from the United States, who has trained and coached leaders worldwide to adapt their leadership style to different generations and situations. Because we only have 1 hour webinar, so please don't hesitate, to leave the question on the chatting box, and then Himli will share some insight regarding today topics regarding situational leadership for managing Gen Z, aligning leadership with readiness. So without further ado, let's welcome Himli Ali. Good afternoon, Himli Ali.
Thank you, Alia, for giving me this opportunity. Now, good morning, everyone. Selamat bergabung, and I will present this in English, yeah? And I hope that's okay with all of you. Alia, I can see my slides.
Yeah, but I think there's some box, the meeting
Oh,
box.
okay. Hang on. Yes. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think we can further
Okay,
do.
let me just move. Okay. So, if you look at the title today, okay, we have a 1 hour jam pack here, and there's a reason for you why you are here. This is what I want you to do. Type in the chat. Look at this title, Situational Leadership for Managing Gen Z, Aligning Leadership with Readiness. What is the one word that is important in this title? Please type in the chat. Okay. Gen Z, okay, thank you, Echo. If I just call you by your first name, it's okay, yeah? Okay. Anything else, everyone? What is a one word? Gen Z, alien. We don't know exactly. Okay, so Debbie, don't worry. I hope to enlighten you. Leadership, okay, Franz, thank you. Rick, risky, leadership, okay, thank you. Anything else, everyone? What is the one important word from this title? In fact, managing Gen Z, yeah. Okay, managing Gen Z. And there's a reason why all of you are here. Because of the word Gen Z. Okay. Like Pak Sudipyo says alien. Well, they are not alien. They are just different. Okay. I think Pak Sudipyo, you and I think we are Gen X. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you are baby boomers, but I think both of us definitely are Gen X. And most of you, if not majority of you, all of you are Gen Y. Gen Y is millennial. That's another word. And then the new workers that you are having today, 28 years old and below, they are Gen Z. Okay. If you are married and you have children, your children now are Gen Alpha. Okay. So after Gen Alpha is Gen Beta. So Gen Beta is still swimming, yeah, somewhere. So if you look at the title, Situational Leadership for Managing Gen Z, Aligning Leadership with Readiness. Now, a lot of us as leaders, I consider all of you are leaders because the fact that you are here, you want to manage people here. We are all in the people business. Am I right to say that? Yeah. It's not about our product. It's not about our services. It's about people. And if we can manage them well, we are able to sustain our business and create the value-added services that we want for our customer. So leadership is not one-dimensional. Some of us just manage one way because it works for us, because we get promoted. So we manage one way. But you know what? 54% of the global leadership manage just one way, one style. But in situational leadership, which I'm certified with Ken Blanchard, there's 4 leadership style. And only 1% globally are able to flexibly change their leadership style towards this 4 style. This 4 style, later on I'll explain. They are directive, coaching, supporting, and delegating. Yeah. Okay. Now let's look at what we have here. Okay. Let me just move my slides. Okay. Now the keywords here, Gen Z, aligning. Okay. If you don't align with them, they are not switched on with you. The readiness, how to make them ready to be, not to perform the task, but to be successful. Everyone care about themselves, especially Gen Z. What's in it for me? That's Gen Z mentality. Some of you are Gen Z, right? If you are 28 years and below, and you look at a certain task, you look at a certain project, and then you ask yourself, what's in it for me? Leadership, obviously, situation. Different situation require different leadership style. That's what I mean. Only 1% globally today managed to switch leadership in a flexible way. Only 1%. So who's me? Okay, I'm 57 years young, and I got 7 Gen Z and 1 Gen Y. These are my kids. All right, 7 Gen Z. So that gives me the very right to be here and talk about Gen Z. 16 years of regional MNC leadership in a corporate world. I'm a founder of a technology startup, and the company is still around today. That is they will be participating in the judging panel as well. And leadership and management facilitator for Microsoft globally. So I am the go-to person to train the Microsoft leaders in Asia and even in Europe on situational leadership. Sales and negotiation facilitator and coach to MNCs in Asia Pac, digital transformation and change management advocate. So as you can see, I'm constantly learning. And last but not least, on a personal basis, I coach transformational coaching on individuals to become their monster buster, slayer, and tamer. Because in each and every one of us, we have monster in us that's preventing us from achieving our desires and dreams. So I'm that person that will help you identify your monster, tame your monster, and make your monster your best friend in order for you to achieve your dreams. Wow, how is that? Well, reach out to me personally, and I will explain to you in more detail. But come to this, Gen Z. Let's look at the population of Gen Z. Okay, now, so you look at the composition of penduduk Indonesia. That is not percentage, yeah? It is in millions. So if you look at today about 270 million population in Indonesia, Gen Z 74.93 million, not percentage, yeah, 74.93 million are Gen Z. Indonesia is a very young population. So millennial 69.38 million are millennials. If you combine Gen Z and millennial, wow, that's about half of the population. Yeah, slightly more than half of the population are millennial and Gen Z. So Indonesia has a bright future only if we are able to manage the human resource appropriately. Okay. Then we have Gen X, like me, 58.65 million. Baby boomers, 31.01 million. And post Gen Z. Post Gen Z, that means they are the Gen Alpha. Okay, Gen Alpha is 29.17 million. They are still in school. Yeah, they are not in working. They're still in school. And pre-boomer, okay, pre-boomer is grandparents and so on. Now, so knowing that, all of you will be overcome with Gen Z. Some of you, which is Gen X, you are managing different generation in your workforce. You are managing your Gen X. You are managing the millennial, Gen Y. You are also managing Gen Z. And you cannot manage them the same way. I'm not saying one generation is better than the other. No. They are just different. You need to know when to push the right button for them to click with you. That's all you know. So who are Gen Z? So I want you to type in the chat. Let's say I want to know how many Gen Z is in your team. For example, if my team is 10 people and I have 7 Gen Z, so 7/10. So I know 7 out of 10 are Gen Z. So I want all of you, type in the chat. How many Gen Z do you have in your team? So as an example, okay, so this is an example. 7 is Gen Z out of 10 in my team. So I encourage all of you, tell me, how many Gen Z do you have? Okay, equals 6 of 22. Okay, good, thank you. How about the rest? Oh, Alia, 9 of 9. Hendra, 2 of 5. Okay. All right. Okay. How about the rest? If you are managing leaders, you can even say 0 slash out of how many you are managing. Okay. How many Gen Z are you managing? Okay. Mariana, 15 of 16. Okay. Wow. City, 0 Gen Z. Okay. So I believe City, you are majority are Gen Y, right? I believe. Yeah. Takdir, 20 of 75. Okay. Okay. 20 of 25. Some of you are still counting, yeah? uh, 10, Erwan, 10 of 17. Okay. And France, 3 of 10. Thank you so much. You know, those who have 0 or less Gen Z, that number will increase. You will have avalanche of people applying for jobs, and these are Gen Z. Very much so that you need to be in this session. If there's anyone in your team members that need to be in session, please send them this link and ask them to come in right away, because I'll give you some tips as to how to manage them. Okay. Now, who is Gen Z? Let's look who is Gen Z. Okay. Who is Gen Z? Born in 1997 to 2012. All right. So they are 13 to 28 years old. So some still in school, and those 20 after university, they're just starting work. Okay. Digital natives. They grew up with internet, smartphone, social media platform. Not that they born, when they are in their mother's womb, they are already being introduced with all this technology. Why? Because the mother is heavily involved, texting in the WhatsApp, watching YouTube. So they say when a mother is pregnant, the mother need to eat the right food so that it nourish the baby. Same thing. Whatever the mother do, the baby will know. So when the baby comes out, they are already know, hey, I'm digital native. Yeah. So they grew up in all this techie stuff. You cannot get it out from them. Socially aware, passionate about diversity, inclusion, and climate. So this is what is their values. Okay, they are very inclusive. They want everyone to be in. Yeah, if someone left out, they get very stressed out. Why this person being left out? Or if they are being left out, they get very stressed. Why am I being left out? What's happening here? Right? And they are into climate, environment is at the top, just like Gen Y, and diversity. They like the variety of exposure. Self-learner, yeah, they don't actually go to training, right? But you give them to resources to train on their own. They are very resourceful. They go to YouTube, TikTok, online learning on the go. So they learn in chunks, bite sizes, small chunks. Yeah. So some of you will want to develop training for Gen Z, develop in modules, in chunks. That's how they work. So one module at a time, and they will find ways to go and complete it. Yeah. But make sure your training is not from A to Z. No. You make A to ABC, one chunks, DEF, one chunks. So that's how it is. And communication, they prefer real time, concise, visual conversation. So they prefer real time, talk to me now. Yeah. Keep it short, go direct. Don't beat around the bush. And visual conversation. Pictures tell 1,000 words. Yeah. Because they are all introduced and they're very creative. In YouTube, a lot of videos, a lot of images. That's how. If you can communicate with them through visuals, through pictures, or you can do training, put a lot of visual and images in your training, they can get it immediately, or videos for that matter. And they hold to their values very strongly. Yeah. They expect brands, leaders, and workplaces to align with their ethics and purpose. So if you want to attract Gen Z, make sure you are aligned with their values. Gen Z will join companies that they feel are in line in their mission, vision of life. All right. If, like, say, they are inclusive is one of them, and open, transparent communication is one of them. Yeah. And if you provide that, then you are attracting Gen Z to come to your organization. If not, you don't sync with their value, after 6 months, they start looking for other jobs. So they are very, and then who create this value? It's all of you, the Gen Y, or even the Gen X here, like me. We create these values for them because we are the parents. Okay. So let me just let me just stop here. Let me just turn on my sound. Okay, share sound, because I'm going to share with you a video. Okay. All right. So let me play this video. Okay. Let me send all of you the video. Let me send to uh, the organizer here. Yeah, the video for you to play. Yeah, I didn't embed it here. But the thing is this: between salary and flexibility, which one do you think Gen Z will follow? Will take? Please put in the chat, salary or flexibility. Yes, flexibility. If your environment is so rigid, followed by the books, the rules and regulation, Gen Z will not come. Probably you want your organization not to have Gen Z. Well, sooner or later, you have no one working for you. So whether you like it or not, ladies and gentlemen, you have to accept Gen Z. You have to really understand them. What's in it for them? What do they value most? And what kind of environment? So flexibility is important to them. So when you have in a contact center, make sure, give some allowance. Yes, there's compliance. Definitely there's some compliance. Yeah. But give them a bit of percentage of leeway to be flexible, to add a bit of their creativity in the conversation. If you put a script, and you ask them, follow exactly to the script. If you don't, you see me in my office. They don't like that. All right. So one way is give them the gist of it. Yeah. As long as we leaders focus on the outcome, they will deliver. Okay. But you give them a bit of flexibility. Yeah. Give them some guidelines, the do's and don'ts, yes. But sometimes we cannot tell them what to say. Do it their way. Because you know why? They will be communicating and talking to their fellow Gen Z on the other line. You may not know, right? So a fellow Gen Z talk to a fellow Gen Z, they use a different lingo. And we are Gen X or Gen Y, we will write the script based on our way, our generation of communication, which may not fit well with the Gen Z. So I want you to notice that, yeah? And sooner or later, you have to give Gen Z an opportunity to be a team leader, to hold a leadership role. Yeah. So this is the coming of the Gen Z. Now, traits of Gen Z. They are hitting life milestone. Okay, 45% are married. 19% decision makers at workforce or workplace. Okay. So half or less, slightly more than less, they are married. Yeah. So that means they are newlywed. Remember, 25, 24, 25 to 28. Yeah. And then they are pragmatic about work. They're very pragmatic. In what sense? They value work-life balance. Yes. Oh, we Gen Y or we Gen X also value work-life balance, but they value the most. Don't expect them to answer your calls or to reply to your email after office hours. Their personal time and life is precious to them. Honor it, respect it, right? So when you send something at night and you want something in the morning and they didn't reply, don't blame them because they value work-life balance, right? And don't scold them the next day. Why you didn't reply to my email? It's important, So this is very important when they have a leadership role, like a team leader role. So we, as a manager here, we have to take note of that. Okay? Or we can ask permission. Is it okay for me to send you an email if it's something urgent? What is your cut-off point, cut-off time? Then they will say nothing after 9 p.m. Oh, okay. And you have to respect that. But you can negotiate with them. Gen X, we don't sleep, right? I think Pak Sudipyo know that, yeah, because we live in a life where we work in US time zone. So, and US, the world revolves around them. They don't care about other people as long as they are daytime and we are night or even midnight. And that's where Gen X is. And it's different from Gen Z. And then seek jobs that align with personal values and goals, which I mentioned earlier. Okay. Looking for opportunities that offer growth and satisfaction. They want growth. They want to see their career path. And it's worthwhile from time to time, you have a one-to-one conversation and ask them about their aspiration. Tell me about in the chat, how long you think the Gen Z will work in the organization? How long? How long will the Gen Z work in the organization? 2 years? The longest? 3 years max? Okay. Yeah. In Indonesia, it's about 3 years plus. Then they start looking, right? 6 months, Echo. Okay. Probably that's based on your experience, yeah? Oh, when they live 6 months, probably their value is not in sync. Their value that they hold true to your heart is not in sync. So before you start any training with them and invest time and energy and money to train them, make sure the company's value and their value is aligned. If not, perhaps you can ask them to look for other jobs because their value is not aligned. And they will do it so. Because at the end of the day, 1/3 of their life, 8 hours, is spent at work. And they want it to be productive for them. They want it to be useful for them. Okay. Pretty sure they already planned their resignation on day 3. So that's your experience. Yeah. Risky. Yeah. But whatever it is, anggap baik, yeah. Anggap baik, have good intention that will, if they stay with you 2 years, that's good. But after 1 year, they're getting very itchy. You know, mosquito bite them. You know, they're getting more restless. So they start looking. So what you need to do, remember the word flexible? Rotate them. Make their work interesting, exciting. Yeah. Rotate them, do other things as well. Yeah. And what else? What else are the traits of Gen Z? Okay. Freelancing and side gigs. Crave for flexibility and independence. You know, some of them are freelancing at the sideline. Don't reprimand them. Don't say, no, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You cannot stop them. Okay. Some of them are providing, you know, there's a lot of ways to make money today, right? So, and Gen Z, they do this freelancing and side gig because they are passionate on something. Help them be passionate. When you help them being passionate on the sidelines, they stay with you longer. I'm not saying forever, but I'm saying longer. All right. So don't ask them, do you do anything after office hours? What do you do? Don't be an investigator. No. Their personal life is their personal life. But you and we as a manager, we need to understand. That's the reason why work-life balance. Hey, Himli, I thought they want work-life balance. You mean they work after office hours also? That's not work-life balance. That is work-life balance to them, because after office hours, freelancing and side gigs, they are fulfilling their passion. They are fulfilling in doing what they love. So Himli, aren't they loving what when they are with us in a job? They are in a job to do something for the company, but they are not doing something for themselves unless they create their own company. And they will not create their own company to do side gigs like this. Okay, so provide them the flexibility to do so. But at the expense, do not be at the expense of the company. Not freelancing, do development work until midnight, past midnight, and come to work with very tired. That's compromising what they are supposed to do at work, right? So if you notice that, do not reprimand them in front of people they don't like. All right, bring them to a room and is anything problem? Are you not having enough sleep? Or what's happening? Is there a way that I can help you? Right? they want you to feel them. They want you to understand their situation. Yeah. Oh yes, Echo. Probably maybe their passion become a TikToker. Yeah. And today a lot of people make money through TikToker, right? Some of them want to be an influencer, right? Yeah. And Takdil says, it's not my passion. Okay. All right. Okay. What else? Let me move to the next slide. Okay. Employer invest in development and support side projects. Yeah. So invest in their development. As much as they want to grow, all right, in the company, they also want to see what the company will do for them. Remember, they come with a badge called What's in It for Me. Okay. What's in it? WIIFF. Okay. What's in it for me? So tell them, okay, in order for you to go to the next level, tell them a big picture. This is your growth path. After 6 months, we give you some training, you show your capability, and we move to the next level. You go to the next level, yeah? Not promises, but a development path. They want that. Not like Gen X, we come to work after 2 years, we start, what's our development path? And what's next, boss? I've been in this role for 2 years already. No. Gen Z will want to know, where do I go from day one? Tell me, how can I grow myself in this company? So you need to have a well-versed training program, yeah, a growth path for them. And if you have a project, and also ask them, what's your passion, And some of them are good at TikTok. Well, pull them out and do a side project, like say do marketing in TikTok. Oh, they're more than happy to do that, even after office hours. Yeah. So they love this. And then they will not do alone. You pull few of their fellow Gen Zs, and you'll be surprised how creative they can get. They are prone to anxiety. You must understand. Anxiety, 28%. And anxiety causes a lot of emotional up and down, roller coaster. All right. So we managers, we need to look at them with not sympathy, but empathetic. We need to really understand where they're coming from, just like a father, a mother to them. Right. And 80% why? Because social media stress. Either the person are don't have enough this personal gratification, disease, I'll say. Yeah. And the other thing are they are big in savings and investment. Don't expect them to invite all of you for makan, for a treat. No. As much as possible, they try to save every single cent, and they use other people resources, other people money in order to move. I'm not saying that as they suck the money out of you. No. They're just saving for the future, because some of them are married already, yeah, and some of them are looking at investment. Today, there's thousands of ways to make money, right? And crypto is getting into the financial world now. And sooner or later, the physical bank will be no more. It's all digital banks. 59% plan to save money, 46% into investment. Okay? So these are traits of Gen Z. Now, and thinking ahead about financial future, balancing caution with ambition. All right. So they think about themselves, and because they think about themselves more, they want to know where they are heading towards. And where they are heading towards, they feel that finance is one area that they need to have solid foundation. Now, if you want to attract, and not only attract, but also keep them, right? Perhaps you can have a short training on finance. personal finance training, how to save, how to invest, which is of interest to them, right? And this will become a program that you are supporting for their future as well. Now, what else? They are keen to travel. Okay, so if you have multiple officers, like I said, be flexible. They value experiences. Any photo opportunity, they'll snap. Adventures unique to culture, they value this. So from time to time, team building sessions outside together, they value that, right? They value so much. Don't have a team building session in your office, okay, or in the meeting room. No. Go outside. Go outside of Jakarta. Go outside of Indonesia. Yeah, if you can. Nutrition is in, but fat diets are out. What is this? They value health and the practicality, focusing on sustainable health, right? And remember, I say they save money. Sometimes they make the food at home and bring to office, so they know what they're eating. So sometimes you ask them to eat out, they say, no, it's okay, I got my food. But when they're eating out, be rest assured that they choose for healthy eating. The environment attitudes are not as strong as you think. Versus Gen Y. Some of you are Gen Y. We want to solve the planet yesterday. But it's a long haul, right? It's a long journey to solve. But with Gen Z, as much as they say, hey, we are all for the environment, hey, we are all for sustainability, ESG and whatever not, but actually sometimes it's lip service only. They are not as strong. Yeah. They just follow with the trend. Yeah. Less likely to recycle. Believe in systemic solution. That means they, like Gen Y, you will go out and try to provide initiative or create a program yourself. But with Gen Z, they follow the government. They want the government to do the push, not themselves, not individual. They define diversity, equity, and inclusion differently. How is that? Mental health, language, and disability as important. You can see mental health is no longer taboo, right? I'm from Singapore. Last time mental health is a taboo. That means siapa who has a mental health, orang gila. Tak siuman, yeah? So we have this hospital called IMH. IMH, that means orang gila punya hospital. Whoever go to that hospital is a stigma come out. Oh, it's not stable. Dia sudah gila. People stress. But now, mental health is everywhere. Kids, professionals, and elderly, all having mental health issues. Doesn't mean a country that is very developed, they are okay. They are okay on surface, but below it, inside them, a lot of stress. So yeah, to your staff. And they value disability, they're very kind soul. Communicating is still at the heart of social media. Whatever it is, social media. Okay, you have to decide which social media they like to talk to. Not Facebook. They are not a Facebook people. Much more on TikTok, right? WhatsApp, right? I'm not sure what's the future, but they will look at what's new and then they go in. All right. Gen X are mainly on Facebook. Gen Y, IG, TikTok, yeah, and small portion on Facebook. And they are not on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is professional, yeah. Consuming content and staying connected. So this is one way. If the leadership wants to convey something, convey in a social media, perhaps in a very creative way that they will be able to consume this information and stick to them, stick to it, yeah. So probably TikTok or WhatsApp or video, right? Yeah, no longer emails, yeah. They like the intimacy that podcasts provide. Podcasts, all of you know podcasts, one-to-one, right? Like interview. Well, that's one way that they learn. So if you can provide learning like a podcast manner, well, this is one way. Now with IT, with AI, you can now provide an AI agent, right? Agentic AI agents to train, to provide the necessary training. And they are on the other side. So this AI can be an interviewer, and they are the interview, they are the participant of the interview. Yeah, you can do that as a learning. So 1 in 4 prefer podcast versus other audio format. All right. So these are the traits of Gen Z. And shows are created by friends and celebrities. So they follow celebrities, influencers, because they are following, yeah? That are their role model. So you need to identify in your industry who is a role model. You have to talk to them. Who they follow in the social media. Have a casual conversation. Know their world. Don't force them to know your world. You have to understand their world. Talk about their celebrities, influencers, and all. And when you want to do something, they usually follow friends. They're very friendship is very high there. Okay. Gaming is not just a pastime. It's not about gaming, but you can use gaming as an educational activity, gamification. You can provide a gamification training inside your agent training. That will be good. It's not like a classroom training, but you gamify it. When they pass a certain module, they got points, and with these points, they can do something else. They can exchange for a gift. So make their learning interesting. Make their interaction between one another interesting. Yeah, 33% play for social interaction, not to play and get addicted, but sometimes they play real-time game just to have fun and also to be connected with others. 27% play for skill development. Yeah. They have big hope for AI. Now, every time nowadays, they will say, is this AI? I mean, ChatGPT and all that stuff is everywhere now. So ask yourself, yeah, how can AI blend with them? How can AI be part of your work? And if you do not know, ask them for suggestion. They will provide you things that you never thought of because they are totally immersive with them. And how is that? Because they have pool of friends that they share with each other. Hey, this tool can do this. Hey, this tool can do. Show me, show me. And for what you know, voila, they become an expert. So leading in the adoption of AI tools. So doesn't mean you are in a leadership role, you must lead all the way. Let them lead in AI. Let them lead in their strength, in their passion, and they appreciate it. Personalized digital interaction. Okay. So today's world, everyone wants personalization. That's the key. So training, how can you make their training personalized to individuals? Every individual learn a different way. They learn at a different time frame, at a different speed. So make it personalized. Same thing. You can use AI as well to help you gauge how should I help this individual different from the rest. See AI as problem solving, conducting research, and unleashing creativity. Yeah. And demand transparency from companies incorporating AI. Stress the importance of clear communication about AI advantages. Okay, don't worry. After this, I let the Alia to send the slides to all of you who is in attendance. Okay. Let me see. Any comment on the Okay, Praya says, I think they are keen to travel because they crave network, gain new connection. Yes, you are right. Praya. Yes, you are right. They want new experience. They want exposure. And when you provide all these activities, not just sitting down and answering calls, you provide, a variety of experiences, they will stay with you a bit longer. Okay, a bit longer. Now, let's look. Gen Z in 2025 is a generation full of contrast. What is that? They're ambitious, yet anxious. Pragmatic, yet idealistic. You have to take note of this. Ambitious, but they're very careful because sometimes some of them do not know how to cope with their anxieties, with their stress. You have to come in. Yeah. Pragmatic, yes, but they dream how to get to the moon, to Mars. They are reshaping industries and challenging societal norms, all the while navigating a rapidly evolving world. The world is changing so fast, but at the same time, they are challenging the rules. They are challenging the environment that we're creating. So that's why we need to be flexible. That we cannot have the SOP. SOP means SOP. We have to follow the rules. No. Give a bit of leeway, a bit of flexible, so that they'll be able to get on and improve the situation. Yeah, improve the situation. Now, let me see, is there anything? Okay. So, Sudhir, please elaborate more on values. Maybe point of view on ethics and purpose are different. Yes, their values are different. Like say, their playground is global, correct? And like I said, they value experiences. They value growth, personal growth. Yeah, they value about not money, but how much they'll be able to save. They value about how they can become a better person. What's in it for me? Yeah, not what's in it for the company. What's in it for me? So a bit different. So we managers, we need to navigate that reality. Okay, this is a video by Simon Sinek. Yeah, I'll send the link also to Alia and share with all of you. Okay, challenges at workplace with Gen Z in contact centers. If I get another 10 minutes from you after 12 o'clock, I hope that's okay. Yeah. Now, number one, high sensitivity to mental health and burnout. These are the challenges. They express emotional fatigue, anxiety, and mental struggles. You as a manager, you as a team leader, you need to be able to recognize early. Observant is very important. Observation is very important. Okay. And hearing feedback from their fellow colleagues, so and so is depressed. Straight away, you need to attend to them because we do not know what they'll do next. When people are so emotional, they are not thinking straight. When they're not thinking straight, they'll do anything and everything to get peace. You know what I mean? Yeah. Under high pressure, call volumes, angry customers. So these things will create burnout for them. These things, if not handled properly, will increase your mental health issues with them. Impact, increase absenteeism, emotional shutdown, and job hopping. Okay. So be very careful on this. Yes, measurement is important, Himli. Yes, we need to have a happy customer, Himli. Help them how to navigate this. Help them how to go about creating happy customers, or how to handle dissatisfied customers, or if they cannot handle, pass it to someone of a more experience that can handle it, right? And let them observe. Yeah, this could be a learning point. Let me see what's in the chat here. Okay. Okay. All right. So what's next? What are their next challenges? Low tolerance for rigid structure. You cannot have rigid structure with Gen Z. fixed schedule, strict scripts, micromanage. They don't like this. And then when this happen, either they resign, they reluctantly follow, this is what I call passive disengagement, or quietly quitting. And you know, when they quit, remember they are very cliquish and with friends. If they are dissatisfied, what happened? They tell to your friends. And you know what? Their emotions spread. It's like one rotten apple spoil the whole barrel. So that's why, as leaders here, we need to identify immediately and address it immediately. All these fire points for us. Number 3, demand for frequent feedback. Yes, they want frequent feedback. Don't wait until end of the month. Don't wait until quarterly one-to-one. No. If you see something wrong, immediately go real-time conversation, real-time communication. That's what they want. Yeah. Expect real-time coaching, not quarterly reviews. Impact. If you don't give frequent feedback, they feel lost. Remember, what they see is what they see. What's in it for me, right? They look at everything in their lens, not in your lens, in their lens. They're wearing their own spectacle and you do not know what they are looking at. You do not know what they are understanding. So you need to understand them and then get into a conversation with them, not reprimand them. Not say, you do it wrong. You do this wrong. You must do this. No, they don't like. Have a conversation with them. Okay. Feel undervalued when left without ongoing feedback. They feel undervalued. Even though you see they are doing well, give feedback. You're doing a good job there. Give feedback. That's all they need. They do well or they don't do well, give feedback. You usually give feedback when they are not doing well, right? Now, give feedback when they are doing well as well. Technology dependency with gaps in office tech. What is this? Fluent in mobile apps and social media. Perhaps you want to move. How can we move to a new technology to get stickiness with our customers? Sometimes get ideas from them because they are entrenched into technology. After office hours, hell, we do not know what kind of technology they are immersing themselves with, right? So get their ideas, get their opinions. Right? Struggle with enterprise system. As much as they are into this technology, but it's their technology that they're familiar with. Mobile apps, social media apps. But in terms of our enterprise technology, they struggle a bit. You must understand, like CRM, knowledge base, even the soft phones that we have. They will say, why is it like this? Why is it not like that? You know? Well, sometimes these are being developed by Gen X. All these system, enterprise system, are being developed by Gen X, not the Gen Z. Okay, so we need to help them appreciate what's here, and perhaps get them to suggest an area of improvement. And if we don't do this, slow onboarding when you get them on board, and technology shame when they cannot perform routine tasks. Routine tasks that use the enterprise system and they're not able to, even as simple as filling up the electronic form, but you do not know where to get it. You know, yeah. So don't shame them, yeah, because you are touching a raw nerve when you say you touch on technology know-how, because they are supposed to be the techies. Yeah. So don't shame them. Purpose over paycheck. I'm not saying that they don't value money. They value money, but higher than that, they need to know. They need to know why they are in this job. They need to know how they can contribute to something meaningful. So it's not just for you as a manager, as a leaders, don't explain to them the operational work. Explain to them how their work contribute to the success of the organization. They want the big picture. So they feel belong. when they go out, yeah, and they see someone using the ABC services, they feel proud. I'm part of that. Yeah. So explain to them the big picture, how their small contribution answering customers' complaint on contact center contribute to the profitable of the organization and also serving humanity to live a better life. That's what they want. Meaningful. If you don't do that, they feel disconnected from repetitive tasks, they get bored, then they start looking for other jobs. And they feel disconnected from KPI only environment. So that will add additional stress. Yeah. So don't be KPI driven. Okay. Be purpose driven. Whose purpose? Well, sometimes your purpose is not in line with your KPI. So that's where the conversation needs to happen. Yeah. And you want to find where is the gap. And we need to be creative and flexible. How can we bring them slowly and meet us in between? How can we negotiate and work together? And last, number 6, desire for fast growth and recognition. Expect clear progression path within the first 6 to 12 months. Don't wait for 2 years. Day one, I'm not saying about promotion. Yeah, I'm saying about their growth path. What's their next? What next? What's next? 6 months, they're asking you already. So you better plan a growth path, a career path for them so that they can stay with you a bit longer. Impact, if you don't have that, frustration, disengagement if career feels stagnant. Okay. Remember, 45% they are married. You know, they want savings so that their future will be bright. They want to use this saving for investment so that their future will be safe, will be secured. Help them to do that. Number 7, direct but emotionally reactive communication. How is this? Give blunt feedback, challenge authority, withdraw suddenly when feeling unsafe. Okay. So the impact, misunderstanding with supervisors, managers, tension in team dynamics, right? So they're emotional. So take care of not the logic first, but take care of their emotion first. Okay. And challenge authority, yes. They challenge not in a bad way, but they challenge the why. Not the what and the how. They will challenge with you the why. So we leaders, we have to explain why are we doing this, why we want them to do this. Okay. And the why reflect back to the previous point, the purpose. Short job loyalty span, yes. Many see contact center roles as a short-term stepping steps or side hustle. Impact high turnover if not engaged deeply. So engage in rotation, engage in activities outside contact centers, engage in training, yeah. And training is appropriate not only just for the contact center, but training for what they require, like I said, you know, financial planning, mental health, self-care, yeah, that kind of thing. So insights for managers. I know we are 1 minute past the hour, but I appreciate if you can give me 9 more minutes, yeah? And then we complete this. Insight for managers in contact center. So what should you do? Gen Z isn't difficult. They are just different. How are they different? They want leaders, not bosses. Bosses will tell them this. Leaders give them the vision, mission, and let them do the work. Do not micromanage them. They want guidance, not commands. Yeah, guidance. And they want growth, not stagnation. So these are the 2 G's, guidance and growth. And they want the leaders out of you, not the boss out of you. Title, yes, title can throw away, but they want leadership. And they will follow you if you provide guidance and growth. So what Gen Z want from contact center managers? Here, clarity and structure, purpose and growth, autonomy and flexibility, recognition and ownership style. And you see S1, S2, S3, S4. What is this? This is the situational leadership language, right? S1, this is directive. Okay, directive in clarity and structure. So your leadership style should be directive, tell them. Purpose and growth, S2. S2 is coaching. The leadership style of S2 is coaching. So coaching them on the purpose and growth as well. Autonomy and flexibility, this is S3, supporting. And recognition and ownership, this is delegating. So in leadership profit chain, this is where it is. Yeah, strategic leadership, operational leadership. And the thing is this, in a leadership profit chain through effective leadership, only indirect predicts organizational vitality. Effective operational leadership directly predicts positive employee work passion. Positive employee work passion directly predicts customer devotion. Employee work passion directly predicts organization. So at the end of the day, we are in people business. We manage people to manage people. We do business with people. It's all about people. It's not about the processes. It's not about the company. It's not about the services. It's about people. And if people have trust on you, employees, and even customers, they will stick to you. Yeah. Customer devotion directly predicts organizational vitality. And then that's where we will be strong in terms of in the eyes of our customer. Biggest leadership mistakes, lack of listening, lack of management skills, under supervision, over supervision, lack of support and inappropriate support, lack of accountability. A lot of leaders, think that they are the best leaders, but this is the result. Yeah. And top 5 things leaders fail to do, what are they? Fail to provide feedback, 82%. And you look at Gen Z value feedback, real-time feedback, and we are not doing it. Fail to listen or involve, 81% fail to listen. We just push our SOP, we just push our processes, regardless of their needs, feelings. And we always have this mentality, they come here to work for us, not the other way around. Hey, we are in the people business, yeah? If we don't have them, who going to serve our customer? Who are going to man our contact centers? Fail to use the right leadership style, 76%. Like I said, there's 4 leadership style in a situational leadership. Directing, coaching, supporting, and delegating. Fail to set clear goals, 76%. Fail to develop others, 59%. This is 5 things that leader fail to do. So the power leadership is this. Organizations that have excellent leaders grow at a rate of 10 times faster than those that do not. Those Gen Z will, if they stay longer with you, they will become leaders of your organization. Yeah. And you want to guide them correctly. So be an effective leader, impactful leader, you have to be flexible. Flexibility, here you are. 54%, 1 style only. 34%, 2 style. 11% 3 style, and I mentioned earlier, only 1% can have 4 style flexibility. They know. And what we do, here you are. Okay. Just a bit snapshot of situational leadership, directing. Okay. So we directing, right? We do directing based on D1, based on task. We manage people not on individual. We manage people on the task they are doing, not people. So D1 is low competency, high commitment. For example, someone who just joined the company, they're very excited, right? But in terms of skill, no, they're not there. So we can be directive to them, right? So that's what it means, S1 to D1. Coaching, S2 to D2. Well, this is where we have to save them because they are disillusioned. Their commitment is so low. So that's why we do a lot of coaching. S3 supporting for D3 and S4 delegating. Yeah. They're high competence, high commitment. So do not micromanage them. They know what to do on this task. Yeah. On this task. So one individual can have D4, can have a D2, and can have D1, 3 tasks, but different leadership style. Yeah. So the thing is this, individual, they can have task. So managers here, leaders here, I want you to manage the task, not manage the individual. So for example, task 1, task 2, task 3. Okay. So with task 1, they are new to it. So you are directing. You are directing leadership style. Task 2, they're disillusioned. Well, you provide coaching. Task 3, they're expert, so you delegate. So same individual, how many leadership style you do? 3 different leadership style you did. Yeah. So this is what I mean. A lot of us, we manage people on individual. Oh, this guy is new, they need directing, we direct only. Until he become an expert, you still direct at him. No. You don't manage an individual, you manage a task that they are doing. And this is what we do in situational leadership. And I encourage all of you, all right, to find out more about situational leadership training. And I think it's on the 3rd week, all right. So what Gen Z wants from contact center managers here: the clarity and structure, directing; purpose and growth, coaching; autonomy and flexibility, supporting; recognition and ownership, delegating. And I'll cover this more in the training. And and this is all will be covered. And at the end of the day, we want them to be self-reliant. We want them to knock at you, boss, I'm a D2. So D2 become S2. S2 is coaching straight away. So the language we use. Boss, this task, I'm a D4. D4 is what? He's an expert. S4, delegating. Straight away, right? You don't need to diagnose where are you. You don't waste time. So this is where situational leadership is. Yeah. And the next training is 20 to 21st August. And if you're interested, and I encourage all of you, you manage your agents, you manage your people, you manage your even team leader on task. And how you do that, we'll cover in depth in situational leadership. We had the first one last month, and it was a success. And I see that more and more of us, the leaders, the managers, even the team leaders, need this situational leadership so that we manage them correctly, we manage them properly, so that they'll be able to stay with us a bit longer. A bit longer. All right. Okay. Any question? Any question?
Okay.
Everyone for staying 10 minutes late. 10 minutes more. I appreciate your dedication, and I'm eating up your lunch. But should you need more information, please approach Alia from ICCA, and we're more than happy to support you. So the training in situational leadership is on 20 and 21st of August. Pass back to you, Alia.
Okay, thank you, Himli, for the presentation, right? For the sharing regarding the managing Gen Z. So, it's kind of interesting topic, right? Since most of the agent in the contact center is mostly Gen Z currently. They have different characteristic. So, it requires leaders to adjust their approach, right? So, as Himli has mentioned, we excited to share an opportunity to go deeper into the situational leadership model with Himli Ali in person. So we have training in 20 and 21st August and 2025 in Jakarta. So, bagi Bapak Ibu yang tertarik untuk mengikuti trainingnya, kami bisa menghubungi nanti tim ICCA. Kami juga menyediakan biaya khusus untuk para member aktif ICCA. Jadi, silakan tanya-tanya kepada tim di Helpdesk ICCA ya Bapak Ibu. Kami mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Bapak Ibu yang sudah bergabung. Thank you again for joining us today. We hope you're living with the fresh insight how to lead Gen Z and every generation with the adaptability, empathy, and purpose, right? So have a great day. We look forward to see you at the training. Thank you, Himli Ali, too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.